Hello everyone, my name is Mary Allison Escobar. Today I'm presenting a data overview for Dyer Elementary School. It is July 13th, 2026. This analysis will look back at our academic, behavioral, and demographic shifts over 3 consecutive school years. This presentation is intended for Dyer's academic coach and school improvement team. We have 4 main goals through this presentation. We want to evaluate 3 years of student data to analyze trends. We also want to find patterns to determine strengths and areas of growth, and we want to ensure that our resources are where students need them the most. Let's start with our student profile. Looking at student enrollment, in 2022, we served 898 students. In 2023, that number jumped to 1,004, and in 2024, it remained pretty much the same at 1,002. When we disaggregate the data based on gender, our split remains pretty steady across all 3 years. We do have a slight increase in the male population, but it stays pretty balanced. While gender has remained pretty stable, our racial and ethnic makeup have been extremely diverse. We see the white student population declining from 23% down to 18.6%. Our Hispanic student population has increased from 23.8% to 26%, and our Black student population grew from 35.8% to 38.6%. Dyer is proud to be a highly diverse, multicultural learning community. Now let's take a look at our faculty profile. While the student body is incredibly diverse, our teacher demographics remain highly static. We have a widening demographic representation gap between our educators and the students that we serve, so we need to proactively address this through professional development. Next, we'll take a look at our special populations. As you can see, our students with disabilities and English learners have remained steady around 20%. However, our economically disadvantaged student number has skyrocketed from roughly 35% in 2022 to over 60% in 2024. This is a massive socioeconomic shift that needs to be addressed. Our next urgent matter is behavior. As you can see, our disciplinary incidents have nearly tripled, exploding from 50 total incidents in 2022 to 140 in 2024. In addition, the number of unique students involved more than doubled. So it's clear that student behavioral needs are escalating rapidly and need to be addressed. Moving into our student achievement results, let's analyze third grade language arts. When we look at our third graders longitudinally, we see a concerning trend in the beginning learner category. In 2022, only 15.8% of students scored in the beginner learning band. By 2024, that number nearly doubled to 31.1%. So this shows a severe and widening gap in reading skills starting in third grade. On the other hand, our third grade math results show a much brighter picture. In 2024, our beginning learning band dropped to just 10%, which is significantly lower than both the district and the state level. Over the years, our third graders are showing solid, resilient performance in foundational mathematics. Moving on to fourth grade, we see relatively stable results. In fourth grade language arts, our proficient and distinguished bands combined have remained consistently competitive with the district averages. When we look at the math results, our distinguished band was an impressive 40% in 2024. Over the years, we have consistently outperformed both the district as well as the state. Lastly, we'll take a look at fifth grade, starting with language arts. We continue to see this alignment across the grade levels. In fifth grade language arts, our beginning learner band dropped from 16% in 2023 to 13% in 2024. We continue to outperform both the district and the state. We see the same trends in math as well. Our fifth graders are showing strong, stable results in math, with 31% of our students achieving distinguished level in 2024, compared to only 14% at the state level. Instead of just looking at static grade levels, let's follow the same cohort of students from third grade in 2022 to fourth grade in 2023, and finally fifth grade in 2024. This cohort data shows excellent vertical alignment. In ELA, proficient and distinguished scores went from 58.4% in third grade to 61.9% in fifth grade. In math, the growth is even more pronounced, with proficient and distinguished scores rising from 68.7% to 71.2%. Our teachers are successfully growing the students they have over time. To synthesize the findings, let's first take a look at our academics. The cohort data showed strong scores from grades 3rd all the way up to 5th, showing we have great vertical alignment among grade levels as the scores continue to increase. However, we do see a strong need in 3rd grade language arts. Across the 3 years, we see a significant increase in scores in the beginning band, increasing from 15.8% to 31.1% in 2 years' time. So this drop justifies the school's immediate pivot to a new language arts curriculum. Behaviorally, we also see urgent needs. The students' behavior needs have increased exponentially over the last 3 cycles. Their needs are greater than ever. The total disciplinary incidents increased from 50 to 140, while the number of unique students involved more than doubled. That tells us that behavioral support is needed immediately. Instructional shifts will not be successful if the learning environment is disrupted. Lastly, let's take a look at diversity. The trend showed a wide representation gap that exists between the educators and the student body. The student demographics are highly diverse, while teacher diversity remains static. Also, our economically disadvantaged student population surged from under 40% to over 60%. This shows us that support is needed in culturally responsive practices to support this rapidly changing demographic. Moving forward, we are proposing 3 concrete next steps. First is ELA curriculum monitoring. As we have started the new ELA curriculum, we need to establish a tracking system with regular benchmarks to assess the efficacy, specifically in 3rd grade. We also need to take a look at the PBIS matrix. We need to provide teachers with clear intervention tools to curb the rise in discipline incidents. We need to ensure teachers have administrator support when needed as well. Lastly, we're in need of culturally responsive professional learning. We need to implement professional development and culturally responsive teaching to support the evolving demographics of the student body and provide resources for the expanding economically disadvantaged population. I want to close today by opening the floor to our school improvement team. Given these trends, what specific measurable benchmarks should we implement to ensure our new ELA curriculum, our PBIS supports, and our culturally responsive training are truly meeting the needs of our student body? Thank you, and I look forward to hearing your insights.